Hi, my name is Mitch. I'm the master printer here at Nice Art Prints. As you can tell, it's a very small shop, but we specialize in big prints. We don't print anything smaller than 2 feet by X number of feet, 2 feet always on the short end. Anyway, today I'm going to walk you through our process so you can see the care and detail that we take in each step of the printing process. And my friend Michael Schrank has been kind enough to let us use one of his images. He's an amazing photographer. You can check out his Instagram here. And yeah, let's jump in. Let me walk all the way over to the computer here. Whew, what a journey. All right, so here we are with the image that Michael sent over. One of the things that I really like about this composition are all the palm fronds heading one direction and then the shadows from another set of fronds overlaying them. Anyways, I think it's nice. From a printer's perspective, something I'm very excited about is the fact that this is a very monotone image. It's mostly green. There are a few little highlights that are yellow, even some that are red or maybe orange up here. And that's going to be tricky to reproduce accurately in a print, and that makes it exciting for me. The first thing I do before working on a print, of course, is talk with the artist and figure out what their intention is. Prints are really special because unlike a digital file that can be downloaded and manipulated, re-edited, prints are pretty much final. And usually they're hung up and stored in a place where other people can see them. Because of the finality, I think it's really important to be true to the artist's intention. It's really cool that you can create something that nobody else is going to change. It's your vision, and it's going to stay that way for as long as the print lasts. And using archival pigments and papers, your print is going to last for generations. Anyways, I could geek out on all that stuff for a while, but let's just jump in. So I've already talked with Michael about this print and what he wants, so I'll jump into working on the file itself, and we'll kind of go through really quickly, but I'll tell you a quick overview of what's going through. So jumping into this image, beyond just normal cleanup and all of that stuff, one of the things that I noticed is that the histogram is pretty much only on the lower third of the histogram. And what that means is that this is a darker image. That works really great on screens because screens are literally shooting light into your eyes, and so you can see all the details in the shadows. On paper, that can be a bit of an issue because if things are too dark, it just gets muddy on the paper. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with this histogram here, and I'm going to stretch it out. So I'm going to make the blacks a little bit blacker and the lights a little bit lighter, and just stretch it out without changing the intent of the photo. I'm just making it so that when it's printed, it looks just like it does on the screen. So it's very subtle. You may not even notice it if you don't know what you're looking for, but you can see it here in the histogram as the histogram kind of gets stretched out. So I've prepared the file in kind of a general way. I've cleaned up the file from any like sensor dust or any things that the photographer may have missed. And then I stretched out the histogram in this case to make it look the same on paper as it would on a screen. The next step is to figure out what kind of paper we actually want to use. I use 2 kinds of paper just to keep things simple. Both of them are super high quality. They're by a company, Canon, which has been making paper for over 400 years. One paper is their Photorag Matte. The other paper is their Photorag Baryta, which is more of a glossy kind of paper. Not so glossy, but it looks like a traditional darkroom print kind of paper. So I'm going to print this out on both of those papers, and we'll take a look and see how they look. So the cool thing about this is most of my stuff is printed on rolls, but I can also load this up, and I can load paper of any size, which is what I'm doing here. That's loaded. And this thing is just going to prep the paper. It's nice, it aligns everything, so I don't have to worry about stuff being skewed. That used to be a huge problem in printing. I love this Canon printer. All right, so here we have the Baryta. As you can see, there's a bit of a sheen on it. Pretty cool. Check that out. Ooh, Baryta. Okay, Now we're gonna load up the PhotoRag matte. As you can see, it doesn't reflect light as much. There's no gloss over it. It's a very flat, textured paper. Alright, this one came out really nice too. This is the matte. I already know which one I like more though. And it's what I suspected. So look at these two. This is really beautiful, no doubt. Matte paper is really popular right now. And it looks really nice. But I like the Barita, especially for this picture. Here, I'll show you in detail. Okay, so here's the matte. It's beautiful. It's really nice, not gonna lie. Looks like we got a little dust on there. It looks great. But there's a reason why I like the Barita even more. When I pull this up, and it may be a little hard to see on your screen because this gloss is overpowering, but there's a nice subtle gloss in real life. I have lights right above, and that's why we're getting this glare. This nice little gloss is very similar to the sheen that's naturally on palm fronds, and I think it just works really well. Oh man, look at that detail. I love printing. The sheen on these, it looks exactly like real palm leaves. So for me, there's no question, we're gonna go with the Barita. Okay, so we're gonna print on Barita. How exciting. I love Barita. I pulled the file into Capture One now, purely for sharpening. I find that the sharpening in Capture One works a little bit better than a lot of the sharpening in Photoshop. Yes, you can get the same results, it just takes a lot more effort. And why work harder when you can work smarter? Really what I'm doing is I just want to make sure that when we print at full size, that this image is just as beautiful as it was when it's small. Here on this little beautiful test print. There's so much detail here, it's such a detailed image. Really, I'm just making sure that it's... I'm going back into Photoshop just because I use Photoshop to print. Canon has a nice plugin manager that works well. So here we go back to Photoshop. I'm literally not going to make any adjustments. Here, I've already sized the image to be what I need. And now I'm just going to jump in and print it off. Let's go. All right, so that's it. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I like especially the details. You get details in the deep shadows, you get details in the highlights. It looks just like the image Michael sent to me, so I think that's a win. I'm gonna let this sit. You have to let all of the liquid that's in the pigment inks evaporate before you do anything like put it in a frame. If you don't, you could end up with condensation in your frame. And then after that, I'll package it up, and I'm going to ship this one off to Michael as a thank you. If you'd like a print of your own, check out our site, niceartprints.com, and thanks for joining me.